Coming up now on Animal Outtakes,
Part of the training is for us to learn how to read our dog.
we're getting involved in the training of search and rescue dogs, how this team gets the job done.
Scent, set, hunt.
We got area search. We got a person out in this field out here, and she's going to go find them.
Their noses go to work and can track down a human scent. We'll see how they do it. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. Hello and welcome to Animal Outtakes. I'm Marcia Panucci. There's no doubt in my mind that dogs are some of the most intelligent animals. Their ability and willingness to learn is incredible. This week, we got a special glimpse into the training of some extraordinary canines who are doing some exceptional things.
Okay guys, search op today, missing 21-year-old. We've set up a 5-mile area right here to search. This is the main trail that's over here. This is the secondary trail. This is Rock Creek that comes through here. And this is our cutover trail that comes back this way.
It all begins here for the Peace River Search and Rescue Team. A briefing of the mission ahead.
All right, get your dogs, let's get to work.
While the canine team members don't understand the scenario, they do know it's time to do a job.
This is Morgan. Morgan. He is a live find tracker. He finds the little boys and girls or men and women that are lost in the woods or wherever.
Well, he certainly is a lover, isn't he?
He is.
But he has a great nose.
The best.
The best, huh? Well, you want to show us what you're going to do? Do I get a kiss? Okay, go do your stuff.
Okay.
Today, Morgan's mission is to go on a mock rescue,
Scent, set, hunt.
trying to locate Curtis, who is hiding off the trail and somewhere in this dense Florida brush.
He got a scent of what Curtis smells like. So now he's following Curtis's scent.
That's all it takes. A quick smell of Curtis's hat, and Morgan is off. The lead is tight, and that's how he lets his handler Mary know he's on to something. Mike, this is a most fascinating group that you have really started.
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about it. These are all volunteers.
Yep, they're all come here because they want to do something for their community and they want to volunteer to give back. That's how I did it because I had a lot of experience and I was looking for a way to give back to my community, and so this is how I came up with Peace River.
And it doesn't take Morgan long. Winding through the bushes and palms, in no time, Morgan has found what he was searching for.
Yes, good boy. Good boy, buddy. That's a boy. Good job. Good job. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. And that's what he does. That's what they do. So he just tracks him all the way through the woods, and then he sat, which he tells me that's the boy that was missing.
Base, this is K962, code 5.
What kind of hours are these volunteers putting in?
Well, last year was a banner year for us. We had 74 deployments in a year, which is unheard of for a Florida SAR team. And it was just because a lot of it's pushed by the drug culture right now. Drugs is awful with the meth and everything. A lot of people go missing because they're on drugs, and a lot of rage killings and things like that. So all of a sudden we just found ourselves going out a lot. And an average week, the team would be out 2-3 times during the week. And then even on the weekends, the Cadaver dogs could be running 5 and 6 times a week. So,
Do they ever get tired?
well, the dogs don't, but I did. I can tell you that.
One dog that doesn't seem to quit, Mike's dog, Nixie. She's one of the oldest dogs on the team and a dog that doesn't know the term give up.
She's got 2 live finds and a bunch of Cadaver finds, and she just refuses to retire.
Ready to go.
Yeah, I keep trying to retire her, but she won't. In a rescue for her, being live find, she has to find the person, and then she will come back and get me, jump on me, tell me that she found him, and then take me back to the person. And we have to do that in Florida because we have tall grass, and we have palmettos, and we have swamps, and it's very hard to see the dog where they're at. So if the dog just went there and sat with them, we would never know where they were. So the dog has to do the other mission. Good girl. Oh yeah, she's in odor already, I can tell. Okay, you ready to get to work? You ready to go find, you gonna search? You gonna go search? So she's just gonna find any human being in this area. She's gonna find them and come back and tell me. So it's not specific to an odor. Tracking can be two different ways. We can do tracking scent specific, meaning if we have a scent article from the person, or we can do what we call a hot track, which is a human odor track, where they'll take the freshest track that they can get that's human, and they'll track that. We hope that's the person we're looking for, but we don't know. So that's, most law enforcement dogs are hot trackers. Most search and rescue dogs are scent specific trackers. So that's kind of how it's done. In this particular instance, doing area search, we use area search as a clearing mechanism. So we break these areas into sectors, and we're going to clear it and make sure there's nothing here and no one here. That helps us when we don't know a specific place where the person went into the woods, so we just start clearing through. We also use it for fire when they're going to do pre-burning in certain areas, and they want to make sure there's no campers, hikers in the area. They'll send the dogs in, and we'll make sure we clear everybody out, say, look, they're going to light this on fire, you need to go, and get them out of there. So there's basically the functions that we use them for, and in this behavior. Sit. You want to get to work? Are you ready to go back to work? All right, I guess so. All right, you ready? Search. And off we go.
While Nixie might be working off leash, Mike is always close by, and the other team members are keeping track of their location. GPS trackers can be found on Mike and on Nixie's collar. Do you work with other law enforcement groups?
We do. We have, this year we had 17 different law enforcement agencies that we worked with, ranging from the FBI, FDLE, down to local law enforcement.
And so I would imagine there's a mutual respect for both of the groups as you're working side by side to rescue somebody.
Yeah, we bring in assets. The nice thing that we do is we bring in highly trained assets. So these people come in and they know their job. So when they get out of the car, they get their dog geared up, or if they're just using the drone or they're just searching as a ground pounder, when they put their gear on, they know exactly what the job is and they can get to work right away. And that helps law enforcement a lot because they don't have the resources to do that. So what they do is we supply them as a force multiplier, with all of a sudden here you've got 60 people who know their job and they're out there doing a good job.
Now, of course, the amazing thing is that you're using your own dogs versus law enforcement that actually has dogs that are trained. They're usually Belgian Malinois or German Shepherd. But we're seeing Chihuahuas, we're seeing Cavalier Spaniels here. Obviously, we have some Shepherds, we have some Labs. Is there an advantage for these mixed dogs to be doing this over the Sheps and the Belgian Malinois?
Well, the dogs that law enforcement get are the top of the line dogs. They go to the best kennels in the country and they'll spend anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 for a dog. We don't have that kind of money. So we have to look at dogs that have talent and handlers that can be taught, and we teach them to be a team. And the reason that the pet works out really well for us is because they're part of the family. And this is all, the canine is a team sport. It's a human paired with a dog. It's not just the dog, you know, it's a team.
A team that works well together.
Oh, now see, she's sitting there.
They get the job done, finding the mock missing person who we couldn't even see over the tall palmettos.
Good girl. How are you? Good girl. Oh, that's a good girl. Oh, that's so good. I didn't even know you were here. How are you? Let me check you out. How are you doing? All right.
It's hurting me.
Your leg's hurting you. That's because there's a dog sitting on you. That's why. That's a good girl.
We've all known a dog's sense of smell is remarkable and much different than ours, a lot more powerful. Now, trying to put it in perspective, one researcher says a dog's nose is anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000 times more precise than ours. They view and interpret the world using their nose, kind of like we do with our eyes. So if we were to compare their sense of smell to our vision, if we can see about 1/3 of a mile away, A dog can see more than 3,000 miles away. And that, of course, is on the lower scale of what their sniffers can do. Stay with us. We are heading back out with the Peace River Canine Search and Rescue Team. It's time for a paw raid. Bring your kids and pups for hours of Easter fun. Saturday, March 24th at the 4 Point Sheraton in Punta Gorda from 1 to 4. There'll be dog shows, costumes optional, and an egg hunt for the kids, plus the grand Easter paw raid. There's also a chance to win a limited edition kids Porsche pushcart. Go online now to dantesden.org to register for a chance for you and your pup to lead the paw raid. Admission fee includes appetizers. All money goes to support the lovable pups at Dante's Den. Welcome back. We just saw how search and rescue dogs use their noses to find people. But there is another odor these dogs are trained to detect. That's where it becomes a recovery mission. Now the dogs are tracking the smell of human remains.
Ready to get to work?
Cadaver, or Callie for short, is another member of the Peace River Canine Search and Rescue Team. It takes about a year for most dogs to be cadaver trained, but for Callie, it was only 6 months. And so she does this as a exercise, as her work, as her play. How does she think about this?
She is a work dog. She is first and foremost a work dog, even though she is a pet. She comes home with me, she sleeps with me, she lives in our household. But in her mind, this is a game. And we find that the dogs that look at this as a game and enjoy the work that they do a fantastic job. If they're encouraged and they're happy to do it, then they do a really good job.
And what breed is she?
She is a German Shepherd.
Well, of course. We're a little partial. You know, Zeus is our co-host, so we're going to be a little partial to the Shepherds. You're also the trainer.
Yes, ma'am.
And how hard is this to train a dog to do what they are expected to do?
It's harder to train the trainers. The dogs are very easy to train. They think very clearly and they have very clear minds. And once you show the dog what to do through your training methods, the dogs usually pick it up very quickly. It's more making sure that the handlers or the trainers don't interfere with what the dog is trying to do. It's a natural ability that we're turning on with the dogs. So dogs naturally hunt. So what we're doing is we're trying to shape that natural ability so that the dog works for us when we're requesting it.
It is that intense partnership between the dog and handler that makes the Canine Search and Rescue Team successful. Does she sense the excitement?
Oh, absolutely.
She sees
absolutely
the lead, she sees her toy, she's ready.
Yep, they know. The blue shirts, they know we're ready to go. And it's when we get ready in the morning, if we put the blue shirts on and we don't take them,
she's upset.
They're very upset. Yes, they're not happy with us. All right, so Jim is my flanker, and Jim's responsibility is to keep track of where I am, make sure I don't get lost, radio, navigation. I'm lucky enough to have 2 flankers today. I've got Jesse coming with me as well. So especially with like cadaver work, you need to keep track of your time, you need to keep track of where you are, because if you're ever called to testify in court, you need to know when you started, what the wind looked like, what the scenario looked like. So it helps if I can focus on the dog and they can focus on keeping us safe, as well as doing our navigation, handling the radio for us and everything else.
And then collectively, I would imagine that you put together a report that eventually would end up in a court proceeding somewhere.
Yep, we turn our reports all over to the Sheriff's Department, and that will have tracks that the dogs have gone on, which is on the GPS. It will also give information on start time and anything that we found.
Now, how often does she go out?
Just about every week.
Every week?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, there'll be times where we don't go out for a month. There was a time last year we actually went out 6 times in 5 days. So it averages about once a week that she's out.
Does she ever get tired?
Never.
Okay.
Absolutely never. So
she's ready to go.
Yeah, she's looking at me. She's ready.
Okay,
So,
let's go, baby.
Ready? Let's go.
Come on.
All right. All right, guys. So in our briefing, we were told that this is the area that has a lot of odor. So we're going to come back here. We're going to start deploying Callie right past this structure, and hopefully she can identify what the odor is that's back in the woods. All right, so we are going to let her go. You can already see that she's an odor. Look at her nose going. She's smelling something over in the bushes. What we're looking for is an initial change in behavior. And what we're seeing actually is we are seeing her change of behavior already. She's pulling out that way. She's not looking back at me. So she's already got her little nose going. Callie. Callie, sit. Good girl. And this is just a cue to her that she's ready to do cadaver work. Hop. And my job is really to just stay back and let her work. She looks for me, she's calling me in, she says there's something here. You speak. Yeah. Yeah. Where's it? Yes, good girl, that's a good girl. And that's it, that's her reward for doing her job. This dog lives for tugs.
But every dog's different.
Every dog's different. Some dogs live for food, some dogs live for tug. You have to develop a really good reward system with the dogs. If you do not have a good reward system, they're not as willing to work. So that's really one of the basic things that we try to teach is a reward system, that the dog will work for that reward system no matter what. So, and she will work for that toy no matter what.
So Julie, what are the dogs actually looking for in cadaver work?
In cadaver work, and it's sometimes called human remains detection, what they're looking for is they're looking for the odor of human remains. They're not necessarily looking for human remains, they're looking for the odor. An odor can be there for a very long time after a body's been removed, after a body has fully decomposed. We actually have we had the privilege of being able to go to St. Catherine's Island in Georgia, where our dogs found 1,000-year-old cremains, and the archaeologist who was on site verified for us that that's what the dogs had identified.
So obviously they're not sniffing anything prior to going out, they're just picking up scents.
Right, well, they're always smelling, dogs are always smelling, but when we give them that hunt command to go find that specific odor, they're going to hunt that odor, and they're going to do what they need to do to find that odor in the area they've been asked to find.
And I would imagine just because of the nature of this work, this is 24/7.
Yes, absolutely. We have a special alert that goes out on our phone, and when you hear that buzz, it's basically you look at your phone and it'll say which teams are being deployed and how quickly you have to go and where you have to go.
So now your dogs are watching you. What tells them I'm going to work?
There's the adrenaline, the excitement. When they see us put on a blue shirt, when they see us starting to pack our water bottles, they pretty much know. And they get all excited about it because they want to go work.
You talk about this strong, strong bond between you and the dog. And we look around here and we see these wonderful, dedicated people who are behind you and who work very, very hard with you. You don't get paid for this, do you?
No, we don't.
But you get paid in another way.
Yes. Absolutely. It's if you're looking to do something that's meaningful in your life, this is definitely something that you'll find is meaningful. Your team becomes your family, and you do so many things with them, and you go so many places with them, and they have your back, and they will lay their lives down for you.
And so how many strong are you?
I think we're at 65 at this point, including our horse team, our drone team. We have a dive team as well, bike team. We've got an evidence recovery team. We're giving families answers, whether the answer is that their loved one is deceased or whether the answer is that we found their loved one in the wilderness and we're bringing them home. We're giving them answers.
It's a peace of mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming up, you and your dog could join this team. We'll meet some more special canines next.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Ray Collins. As part of their Town Hall Lecture Series, we'll have a preview of a nationally known cancer researcher who wrote a book called The Emperor of All Maladies. That's Monday on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
So we'll continue to watch a frontal boundary that's approaching us. That'll promise us a chance of rain upcoming week. We'll talk about that and when it's due to arrive bright and early.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service, it's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
So, could you and your dog be trained in search and recovery? It all comes down to the working relationship between the two of you. Lots of time and dedication. It's definitely not easy work. It can take a toll on both of you.
Beckett is a cadaver dog, human remains detection. I was told that he didn't really have any work ability, so it was my goal to kind of prove that wrong. So I saw a lot of potential in him, so I started teaching him some detection work with human remains detection. Beckett and I bonded pretty quick. He had a lot of motivation for food and he just wanted to do something with me. So I just had to point him in the right direction. So basically I taught him, you know, hey, if you smell this stuff, you're going to get paid for it. You know, you can get some food, and then that transitioned into you get a toy and we can play, and it became a game. And then he started taking it a little bit more seriously where he knows, all right, I have to work. You know, I still get paid, but it's still a job. I think that he has built up a ton of confidence going out and working on his own and you know, being successful, and then I come in and I reward him, and then we have that bond together. And then it's been a great bonding for me and him, you know, and like I said, you know, he was kind of tossed to the side as a rescue dog, not going to work, maybe to make a nice pet dog. So I didn't have too high expectations. And so every time he comes out and he does something great, it's a big deal for me. And he loves it, so.
This field exercise puts their noses to the test, sniffing the air to detect the faint smell of human remains. The remains, sometimes just a lost tooth of a team member's child. The item is carefully put into a container and hidden in the tall grass. Beckett alerts Jessie. And then it's Beamer's turn, one of the smallest members of the team, just 12 pounds, but his searchability is just as powerful as those 4 times his size.
He doesn't like to play ball or tug, he likes to play hide and seek. Beamer caught on to the game right away because he likes hide and seek, and basically that's what we do. We find people, we recover, we rescue, so he likes the game.
While it might seem like a game to the dogs, it certainly can be very stressful for the handlers. Peace River Canine Search and Rescue has another team member whose job it is to offer support. Sarah, it's a delight to be with you here today because you serve a very wonderful function with this group, a chaplain. So well needed. Can you tell us about, is it a particular faith? And do you work right alongside of them? Do you go with them or do they come to you?
Good questions. So I am an interfaith chaplain, and that really means all accepting. I don't judge someone by their path, and that allows me to have a completely open heart, I think, when I am indeed ministering to someone. Interfaith is really all about inclusiveness, including everyone. The only thing I always say I don't include is unkindness. Because in addition to loving and caring for the people of this team, I love the animals too.
You'd have to in order to be involved with this. Now it does beg the question, do you go out with them or do you wait for them? And how do you decide that you need to go to somebody?
Okay, so it's a little bit of both. If a family member who has a missing loved one is on site, then I am indeed with the team at base camp. Occasionally I will go out with a tracker, and if that ever happens, I'm there to bless a body or perhaps remains, but primarily I'm at base camp, I'm with the team, and my first responsibility is to any family member who is missing a loved one. And I like to say that my job is to be completely present and listen. Really what I offer is loving comfort. And my second responsibility is to the team to keep the morale up as much as possible, because we do get so emotionally involved. I get emotionally involved as well. And finally, I feel a responsibility to the animals. We've not, of course, met a missing person, don't know them, but we begin to feel as if we know them. We get so invested during the whole process of finding out who they are and maybe why they went missing or how, that our hearts get very involved.
But for the dogs and their handlers, it's the compassion in their heart that drives them to continue to help. What an amazing group of people and pups. If you would like more information on Peace River Canine Search and Rescue, visit them on their website. It's time for a paw raid. Bring your kids and pups for hours of Easter fun. Saturday, March 24th at the 4 Point Sheraton in Punta Gorda from 1 to 4. There'll be dog shows, costumes optional, and an egg hunt for the kids, plus the grand Easter paw raid. There's also a chance to win a limited edition kids Porsche pushcar. Go online now to dantesden.org to register for a chance for you and your pup to lead the paw raid. Admission fee includes appetizers. All money goes to support the lovable pups at Dante's Den.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook. Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Raycom Sports and Blizzard Entertainment are debuting a new 5-part series. It's called Heroes of the Dorm, and students from the Atlantic Coast region are competing in Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm for over $500,000 in scholarships and prizes. The tournament features teams from colleges across the United States and Canada battling in Heroes of the Storm, featuring characters and lore from almost 30 years of Blizzard Entertainment. We also go behind the scenes with some of these gamers to see what they're doing when they're not playing video games.
We'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks for watching.
Now she gets her Frisbee. She used to be a Frisbee dog champion, but her hips are going out now, so she can't do it anymore. Oh, what a good girl!
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.